Waterbury Courthouse police say the shooting was gang-related and 9 are under arrest.
This is Zyquan McDaniel. I understand that there's a significant issue here. I understand that we're on it, and we're on the right path, and we're going to continue this investigation and continue to make the right.
What's happening, man? So I wanted to make just another quick video. Because I didn't know this yesterday. I was focused on one thing yesterday. One thing I was focused on. That was the 960 indictment out of Waterbury. Why? Because I know a lot of people who know those people. I know a lot of people who's close associates to those people. I might have even known some people who was involved with that. You see what I'm saying? That's not even, that's only a part. The main reason is, see, there was a motherfucker with them. Al endorsed 960 back in the day. You see what I'm saying? There was a motherfucker with them named Gap, Young Gap. And let me tell you, all these motherfuckers who, like, just starting out, literally like me, out of this state, he was one of the ones that really caught my attention as having promise, because his sound was so different than what's getting perpetrated out there, you feel me? So, anyways, they got caught up shortly before I went to prison because they shot up a courthouse. They shot up the Waterbury courthouse. I believe, if I remember right, Gap was the shooter. I know he was involved, he was charged in the shooting. And what I found was fucked up, and I believe he was the shooter, because I'm gonna include the news article. The news clip from the local news literally only goes, "This is Zyquan McDaniels," and that's Gap's government. You see what I'm saying? Shows his picture and everything. It's so fucked up. It's like literally 9 people are charged in this shooting of a courthouse, but you only gonna put this one motherfucker who's a kid with kids. You see what I'm saying? Or you gonna put him as the only one that you gonna show and be like, yeah, this guy. But there was 8 other people, but just this guy. It's not cool, man. It's fucked up. So I really do feel like law enforcement, unfairly targeted 960, and especially unfairly, I think, Mr. Gap. I've talked about on here before where the American government is real good. Think about the term American dream, right? This is a classic term, right? The American government is real fucking good at selling motherfuckers a dream and having them buy a nightmare. That's the basis of Reaganomics. Sell motherfuckers a dream, make them buy a nightmare. Because honestly, I think that was Ford's business model, I think, for a little bit. In the 90s, and especially with them Firestone tires. I think that was their business model, ironically, for Ford. Them fucking, what was the Ford, the 1.8 cars just kept fucking, it was rollover prone, all type of shit. I think it was the Ford Escort from like 99. It was really dangerous. I've been watching the news about it. But yeah, so it's like I've talked about this rap shit and compared it to the movie The Island. And it's like you feel like you hitting it big. Really, they just gathering evidence. If they need more evidence, they might put some money into you to get it. Yeah, I didn't even see that about the courthouse shooting, because that whole shit happened right before I went to prison. I had other shit I had to worry about, way more other shit to worry about. Just seeing the way that this motherfucker started getting a little bit of traction, I noticed all his songs had the same exact ratio of likes to dislikes. It even seemed like they removed some of the likes. Because I swear, I looked at the audio for 960. Keep in mind, this kid was a topic. I'm gonna include receipts. This kid was a topic on YouTube. He's released no hits. Probably nobody outside this state really even knows about this kid. I'm talking about Young Gap. You know what I'm saying? He was good at what he was doing. I know that Al almost definitely knew who he was. because he was very involved with that movement. And I think, like, I remember the newspaper articles in jail literally showed them on stage with Al. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you was a rapper going to Warbury, a lot of times that's who you checked in with. You see what I'm saying? So I think it was a lot of shit that was done to make this man think what he was doing was getting him out of a situation like that. But really, it's fucked up because they talking about the death penalty on the table for this and shit, because people died and shit, people was killed and shit. Which I think is fucked up because Connecticut don't even do that. New York don't even do that. The Fed statutes can do that, unfortunately. But I don't know, man. It's just, I feel like there was up, and now I didn't even realize this because I'm so focused on all that shit. At the same exact time, what happened? Oh, Spotem Gottem is in an incident of road rage where there's, and I did the math, 27 shots at least of exchange. Okay, where you got shots going back and forth, because that one car had 22 holes in it. If I remember right, I don't think nobody in that car got hit even though. And his car, I don't know how many holes, but he had 5 holes in him, and he in ICU holding on dear life. You know what I'm saying? And if I remember right, I think he had problems with certain people, who, unfortunately, some of those certain people, and forgive me if I'm wrong, led to their own unfortunate demise, which is probably the only demise on par with in terms of how bad it is dying in jail. Because in terms of Wiz Da Wizard, who I've spoken on here before, that motherfucker has some shit with him. And he's a motherfucker who could have really, really set this shit in motion. The problem was, I think he didn't really realize the game he was playing. I don't think he knew all the players that was involved. You see what I'm saying? I think, I don't know. I don't want to speak too much on it, but I heard that he was basically found dead in the front yard. They're saying a firearm wasn't used. Foul play is suspected, which means that just to me tells me, knowing what goes on in that Florida area, maybe, because I've heard reports he was decapitated. I've heard reports. I've not seen them confirmed. The police won't release evidence about what the condition of the body was like, or none of that. And what leads me to believe that might be true is they say believed to be Wiz Da Wizard, which means there's a high chance they don't have teeth for dental recognition. You see what I'm saying? They only have on, probably, because I know that man probably had a lot of tattoos. They only have that to go by. You see what I'm saying? And knowing what goes on, that would make sense. And knowing that he was angry with, I don't want to speak on that actually, but I just know he was angry with Kodak over 30K being an advance, which is sort of in his way his own fault, because you get a piece of paper with a bunch of shit on it, you're supposed to read that shit. Not just take that stack of money and be like, oh, honey, it is what it is. I know I'm good. I'm a rapper now. It doesn't work like that, bro. It really doesn't. I talk about this shit on here all the time. Once you win that shit, in a lot of ways, you not getting out. They can put that shit on you for life. You start becoming a problem, what you think they're gonna do? What's cheaper? Especially if you know you can get away with it. So, that's 3 things that happen to people in affiliation who is rappers, or affiliated with rappers, in less than 24-hour period. This is why when I do the type of music I do, I make sure I put certain content in it to make clear that there's certain situations that call for certain things. Not every situation where you have a problem with a motherfucker does he need to die right there. You see what I'm saying? There's levels to this shit. And God don't like ugly. And if you cool with going to hell and you fine with that, be my guest, man. But just understand that's what you're doing. Now I believe God understands certain circumstances. I believe you can come back from that. But when you make it a pattern of life and a habit, especially if you're doing it for no reason, wantonly, excessively, it just didn't need to go like that, and you put it that way, like, at some point, guys are going to be like, yeah, fuck this motherfucker. Especially if you're putting all type of shit that already, like, see, this is why I always keep myself with God. Because that's what's going to save you really in the end. God going to be like, all right, at least he believe in me, he could reset. You're going to respawn his ass, let him fly around a little bit, and then come back down to earth. You see what I'm saying? So, think about that, you know, and I like that about Gap. I felt like that man kept God in his life. I never personally knew that. I don't want to give that misinterpretation here. I knew people who knew him very well, especially when I was in prison. But, you know what I'm saying, it's just very sad seeing what happened to that shit. Especially with the situation that young man mindset probably was in, thinking he was getting out of a situation that he was just sort of thrown into. You see what I'm saying? Big.